let's get going here. All right, so a couple things have changed. Realized that this area here had a long sniper's route, so was just kind of a little bit worried, so really just reworked this little path in here and around. Come out to the other side. It's a little bit ugly right now, but this is again more for testing and things like that. So let's just paste this in here. All right. All right, let's get started. So let's double check something really quickly. Great. Okay. Here, all right. All right. So let me just do a quick lap to show all the stuff that has changed on here today before we go in. So let me turn off this horrible lighting. Don't really understand why it keeps doing this. Kind of like strobe effect when I open it. If anyone knows, let me know in the comments. But the map has been clipped now for the most part. A little bit more clipping needs to be done, but trying to get that done for the playtest. I have figured out where the forward spawn is going to go, and I think what I'm going to do, I was thinking about this last night, shifting these stairs I think makes a lot more sense to probably be up here. I really wish these stairs went around. Probably have to create my own version. So we'll come back and do that later, but I think I'm going to make this spawn actually, so simulate like how big that would actually be, knowing the stairs would go out further this way, be up a little bit higher. So ideally like this. Anyway, was thinking about putting a forward spawn kind of coming out this way, or potentially even here. Have to think about that, how that's exactly going to work, but so I might have to make stairs coming up into this area, maybe. Might make more sense. Could be a better option. Up and around. But I felt like there's an opportunity for a forward spawn. I really did like the way that was. I have to rethink that crap. Not as much room as I thought. I was going to move these trees up like here type area. Anyway, most of the map has been clipped now, and today I'm working on optimizations of the map and getting these spawn rooms into check. So this one's just a mess in here. And then let me turn off clipping so this is not so annoying. Let's see, I replaced the texture on the ground. It was very beach. I think it came from, what is that? Mercenary Park. Added a couple things here if I like that. Now that I'm coming back and looking at that, just take this one off for now. But and then just added in a couple of things to draw players in. Oh, this was added in too, so something to make it look a little more natural. Coming out, drawing players to this side with the red for playtest. Again, another draw with the A, and then my hope is that players continue on through this route. See this? You don't want players to go up this way. So I'll have to watch that in playtest, see what really kind of happens there. My hope is coming around this corner, you're like, oh, I'm probably like not going the right way, and you turn around, but you just never know. So I may need some kind of something directing players back this way. Same thing here. In fact, I probably put a red flower there, so even something over here, and then more visual cues, pulling the players out, and even creating some interest out this way, making players fully aware that, hey, there's this flank route over here that you should be like while further for the blue. It's gonna be a much further route. There it is. I'm really digging this grass texture. I have to fix it up eventually. And let's see what else was done. Created some more headspace in here. Still got some work to do, as you can see. But I really am considering another route back and somehow into here, or maybe even around this building, just to kind of open it up a little bit. Could be an option. And then not 100% sure how I feel about this. I'll have to see how it does in playtest. Move the health around, change the height of this area a little bit, extended this out. I've also created this, kind of hard to see it, but these stairs up now have been added to give an extra kind of back route here. Oh, and then I forgot, I really tried to work on this spawn a little bit. Let's see how this is going to look. So I don't want, when this is open, for players to be able to kind of shoot in there, so that's a problem. Let me turn everything back on. And then today we're going to do some optimizations. I'm going to talk a little bit about what I know as far as optimization theory. And we're just going to do some light optimizations today. Excuse me. Let's see. I think I'm going to give it a little bit of a lip here. Take a look at this, because I want to make sure players are aware that there's a doorway here. So, you know, the other thing that's probably going to make more sense to do is just kind of pull all this out. Yeah, much more clear that there's a exit there. I forgot if spawn exits have like a, I think they do have like an exit sign. God, I've built so many spawns, I should know this. And then I think it's probably wise to close this space off here. Okay. Then I want to take a look at how this is going to look when this door is going to be open. So I'm a little worried about this. I think if the door, okay, let's maybe do something, make it look like they, eventually we have to make it look like the building butts up against kind of these ancient arches. So let's see, I need to probably extend this out to here somehow. And I wonder when I make these into stairs, it could be a ramp too. But I think let's just pull this over, get started here. How that's going to look. There's like a door on the other side of this arch. Is that going to look weird? doors. So I'm gonna cheat a little bit and copy some doors. It's like my kryptonite on Hammer is spawn doors for some reason. Oop, wrong side. Turn everything on. Alright, so yes, they do have an exit sign. Okay, cool. I'm going to still this guy here. I'm just going to use this. Phase test. Make it clear. Where the exits are. Okay, we'll come back and just gonna do that now. Sometimes I question, is it faster to just spin stuff by hand versus doing the Control M methodology? And I don't know. In that last case, I feel like it would have been a lot smarter to just rotate it by hand, but alright, so that in the middle, nope. Okay, Control S. Save down. I'm envisioning like some kind of bar here. Maybe I could just steal that off here. I do not want to. I don't actually want to take it from here. Ugh. No, I don't want this crap. So I came here for this. Technology. I got that already. Okay, let me start over. So our trigger, we need our door. Just the two main things really. We need that prop, which I think is separate, yep. And if I remember correctly, that's really it. I've got the blocking boundary already in there. Let's create some doors. So doors aren't actually that hard to do, but I just always had problems with them. Yes, okay. It's a much smaller opening than what I anticipated. I think I'm gonna, let's see. I think that's fine. Yeah. I think that'll work fine. Okay, so let's maybe think about this here. Let's double check what this technology is. Oh, it's stuck in there. Okay. Red team filter, great. Output. Wonder why that's missing. It's probably because the trigger's gone. On door stage 2. Okay, I did miss the funk door, which is this thing. No, this thing. Yep. So not me. I didn't really want to copy this whole thing, but I might just have to do this. So in theory, I can, hopefully this works. Just have to make sure my spawn is the same as Gorge. I'd use a lot of the framework from Gorge to set this up initially, because I knew, based on reading through the VIP manual, that it just used attack defend control point. Type stuff. So early morning for me. It's like a weird stream, I feel like. Anyway, so a lot of the framework here was from Gorge, so components, things like that. Let's get smart about this. So I feel like this is probably going to work. Let's frame it all up. I just want to make sure everything's on grid, and then I'm going to have to copy some of these over and create my own doors for the other exits. I'm excited to get this into place. And ideally, it's probably going to be smart to stretch these out a little bit further, kind of like the top is. Hold one second. Ugh. Air conditioner comes on, it just destroys the background sound, I'm sure. So just fix that. Yeah, I'm wondering if this should be like that, maybe. Raise it up slightly. Let's see. Red team filter on touch. On start touch, close, right. Got our door. Stage 2. This should be connected, parented to that. And this doesn't make any sense anymore. So let's shrink this down. And center it. Shrink it. Center it. A little too small. Okay. Great, perfect. And that's what players will see on blue when they come up to this area. They'll kind of know what's going on there. So, need to put a quick respawn sign. This exit here feels really big now that I'm looking at it. So that might be something I want to correct later on, is just making this feel a little less big. I can even just cheat it a little now. Let's see if I can pull this down. Yep. Okay. And that'll be good for the optimizations that we're going to get into later. That's clipped above this, yep. So I think I need a little thing right here. It's feeling a little weird. About that. So a little bit better. I wonder how dark it is in this hallway. Let's see, it's not too bad, but double check some of the work in here too. That could use some help. Why not? Okay. Great. Right. 2 more spawn doors. We need some signs. Let's get those signs done. Let's respawn signs. Really happy with how this came out here. This is going to help cut down any kind of sniping down this lane. So this block here, I think it's okay if they sit here, but I've even thought about placing something there just to block that even more. So we'll see how that goes in test. Easy solutions that we have to do that. Hallway needs a light in it. Very clear that it needs a light in it. So go back to different lighting. If I can click on the right thing, this thing will stop shuddering back and forth. Great, love it. Okay. So, I think that's okay. I'm a little worried about that. I might shift this a little further. This lane might become atrocious. Snipers kind of looking down it, because you can run back and forth and kind of control this area. You are open to attacks this way, which is the idea that while the VIP is coming in, that multiple team members are kind of coming in and clearing out the way for the VIP is how this was designed. Let's see if that actually plays out. I think I'm going to bring this way a little bit further. pull these walls over a little bit more. It's a little bit problematic for blue running up here if a red player does decide to come out this route up here. The first round I'm going to keep players focused on this direction. So with that said, let me just start doing that. For the spawn points, if you're new to the game, they generally recommend, or I recommend 16, just to support 16 person servers. I don't know if that is going to change over time, because I know there's like a lot more maps that are test-in limits on how many players are in the map. And then we want to make sure they have enough room, because these are the size of the Half-Life 2 spawn, Gordon. Whatever, assuming it's smaller, but anyway. Pull this over here. Anyway, I'll make a second set of spawn points after the first point is capped. Then maybe pulls players back here a little bit further, or spawn some up here, spawn some back here. It's really more ideal in my head. And I probably do need a second med cabinet as well. So today, just finishing up the map, trying to get it released tomorrow, hoping it gets released on Team Fortress 2 maps. I have cycled through about 1 million names now, and I think I'm just going to call it Lost Ruins if I don't come up with something better in the next 24, 48 hours. So, or however far away. Wow, it's starting to feel a little clustered in here. Okay, great. So I need to make sure I do that. For the second set of spawns that I think I'm just going to have to turn on. So we'll keep these on, turn on the second set. So this is stays, just call this red spawn 2. And what we want to do is make sure this is not on. Start with, start disabled, yes. And we want to turn this on later. So let's go see if we have a logic relay in place after the first cap. We do. I figured we did. And we're just going to copy and paste this. Spawn 2 on trigger. So when the point is capped, we're going to enable the second set of spawns. Great. Awesome. Probably do want to put an instant, it's like a big fan of instant respawn after points are capped now. So, but, so we've got 16 points that will also continue. These points up here will continue, because we do want players to continue to put the pressure on the point, but we want to also educate players that, hey, there's a second set of spawn points over here that you should pay attention to. Let me do one quick thing. I'm going to close this out and go back to Extinction. If you're new to my work or the channel, Payload Extinction is one of the maps that I've worked on. It's currently on the workshop if you want to check it out. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. If you don't, please let me know in the comments what we can do to fix it. But I'm just going to go grab a little something quick. Turn off all this crap. think this will work fine for what I'm needing. And there's a lot of open space, which will get filled in later on. I'm not too worried about any of that now. But I think I am going to close this room in slightly. So it's just feeling kind of huge. And we'll make it look pretty later on once we prove out that the location and everything works. Now we want to copy a few more of these over, and an extra one of these, and then those two doors. And then I think we're done with this area. So the thing I have to be careful of is that players potentially standing here can't see those players as they spawn. So I think I'm going to pull these back a little bit due to that. They really shouldn't unless the spawn door is open, but you know, just in case. I want to get in there and see the view of, like, hey, I've spawned here. Oh, here's my options. I want to eliminate players getting hurt and coming in and getting a med cabinet really quickly, which is why I built this here, but I kind of want to pull one back kind of far back here. So let's copy this med cabinet here. I want to get this trigger, the actual med cabinet itself. And you got to be careful when you're doing this that you rename all the components. For example, let's rename our, let's start here with prop. So we're at 8. Apply. Okay. Associate model 8. And I think that's it. Okay. So when that's touched, this thing will go. I always thought you had to set something up like when touched, but apparently not. Okay, 2 resupply cabinets. I'll pull this one back too a little bit. Eliminate players just kind of running in and out real easily. Add more of these. Ooh. So I hold down Shift when I'm copying and moving things like I'm doing now. Right. I did not realize that's sticking out so far over here. I think that's okay. Just like unnecessary to be in here. Alright. 2 more spawn doors. Same thing with the spawn cabinets. Just have to be really careful with So what I'm doing now is just making sure that I got the right components, which I did. So copied that over. Start up here first. So if you're new to the game, and you do this, just cool. You're like, oh, cool! I can just copy and paste this stuff over. You can, but you have to be really careful that you rename everything, just like the med cabinets. And apparently I didn't make this wide enough, so we're gonna get this corrected on this side. Is that right? Yep. Tall enough, just not wide enough. So I'll correct that real quick. Fix this. Visualizer for blue team. And where did the trigger go? That's weird. Okay, I missed that apparently in the first pass. No big deal. So get that centered on the door. See that center X. Just center that with the rest of them. Great. Okay. So as mentioned, we can't keep this the same name as everything else. So we got to rename when this thing touches and ends what it does to the store. So we're going to rename this store to Red Spawn 3. Okay. Apply that. It's filtered on the red team currently. We can just replace these two. So when red team touches this, door goes up. When all of them have stopped touching it, door goes down. Easy enough. I like to copy this stuff over because of the speed. The attributes have been built into it, so I can't seem to get everything selected. I don't know what the deal is. Huh. Okay, got it. And same thing for over here. This door is currently not wide enough, so we'll have to fix that. Yeah, okay. Alright, so same thing as before. Oh, you know, I missed one thing, one element over here. The parent needs to be this. Actually, yep, so we got that. That's great. call this red 4. Change the parent. And change the trigger. Okay. 3 spawn doors, and let's turn all these brush tools off, get this store right. Ugh. Oh, I see, okay. That should not be a funk detail, really. Prefer it not be. I'm not sure this is tall enough. It is not. So I feel like this map has come together pretty quickly so far. Not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. But we'll see. Hoping the tests go well. Need to see if I can find a few other servers that can also host it. Always recommend trying to get a good exposure to a bunch of different servers. I've seen a lot of people solely test on Team Fortress 2 maps just because it's easy to get your great community to get in there, but it can. I've seen people come to other servers and go like, "Oh wow, this is tested completely different." It's like, yeah, you'll see that across different servers that people play different ways, and you really need that for the public. What is going on? Can I get the right thing, please? I'm just trying to move this spawn room visualizer up a little bit. I don't think I'm going the right direction. Okay, there it is. All right. Jeez. Get this locked into the framework and center it. And we'll move on to hopefully optimizing the map. I will need to test that later, just to see how that does. But for now, I should put a fake wall here for this test. Okay, so what we're going to do now is optimize the map, and there's a few things we can do to get that done. One is to, like, the easiest and probably the least amount of impact is putting as many no draw brush faces as we can I don't think dev textures cost that much, because of course any texture should be the same, but dev textures don't really cost that much overall. I got an overlapping brush again. Keep having that happen on this corner. So I'm just going to do a quick lap, make sure that any things that make sense that should be func detailed do get func detailed. So these couple. So the great thing about this is it exposes potentially overlapping brushes I found in the past. It's got a big tattletale on that, which is awesome. You do not want those. So the theory is putting this on any surface that players won't see. You don't want these surfaces that players won't see to be drawn on. Most likely a lot of this stuff won't render anyway because the machine just won't see it. But just in case, we're going to do a quick one of these just to help everyone out as much as possible. Especially a lot of this stuff. So that might be a just an overlapping brush. Okay. What's causing that? I think that thing's just too low. Yep. Another one just too low. Still overlapping, so let's see. Overlapping with water, so no issue there. Water brush. Oof, boy, that's bad. That I don't understand. So there might be another brush in there. Yep. Oh, what in the heck? Oh, it's the water, okay. This is probably not acceptable, though. Alright, I'm not going to get lost in that. Come back at another time. A few more no draws around the outside. Did a little bit of work on this earlier. So some of this is done. And I think that's fine. Okay, we're going to come back and work on this later. But we're going to do some. The next one is area portals. And I've actually done a quick hint brush across the top of these buildings here to make sure this area is not drawn for the people on the other side. Same thing over here. And there's a few more going through, just capturing a few areas to make sure that the engine is properly cutting these into sections. There's a whole theory around why you do that, but just note the punchline is you want to give the engine a hint that it needs to cut along that line. So with that, I would like to area portal a few areas. So I found the best way to do this is get down to just what the engine optimizes off of, which is just really true brushes. So I turn everything off I possibly can. Props, func details was the big one, displacements, and any of this stuff that I might have in here. And then this shows me exactly what's going to render. and where I should put those func details in place. So I'm also looking right now, or sorry, the area portal's in place. I'm looking right now too to see if there's any other areas I should have func detailed out. And I'm seeing like maybe those eventually. I'm not going to worry about it now too much. Yeah, it'll be fine rendering that for now. This here, yes, 100% should be a func detail. It's just weird geometry. While on grid, it's just not the best. I think I'm gonna maybe func detail that too. Okay. Cool. Alright, so I'm going to come back to this later. It's this central area that I'm going to worry about doing for now. So area portals are easy to set up. Just select the area portal brush. Find all our doorways. And we add an area portal in. Turn it into a func area portal, and then it's done. This is really what I do for any doorway. So I think what I'm going to do is make a brush for it. Just copy it. Paste all that in. To each doorway before I convert it. So Control C, Control T, func area portal. I don't actually know what the difference between an area portal window versus the other is. So I found you cannot copy area portals for whatever reason. You have to make the brush and convert it. Yeah, they have a tendency to break. So one of my favorite and least favorite parts of the game is this, but I find these help so much, especially if you have that hint brush across the top. Make sure the map is properly optimized. As you can tell, I almost forgot to area portal that one, which is something I commonly do. So when I get done with a section like this, I will do a quick map compile. I don't even let it run. I just check to see if there's any leakage in that map test, which I think a lot of mappers do. Try to get really methodical about it though. Alright, so you have to think of this as boxing ourselves in. One side of the area portal can't have access to the other. So in other words, if you draw a line from this, I could go outside here, I could go around, and I could hit the other side. So it'll have problems at this point in time. So what I want to do is just close out every single one of these. Doorways that have an opening. Just make sure they're all area portaled out. I've lost my brain in past projects just trying to find where a leak might have come from. And there's a lot of tools built into the machine, and you kind of get used to certain things happening. Oh yeah, I've seen that before. With this type of stuff. But I recommend even coming back through at the end and double checking each one of these little openings. I'm trying to escape almost. So there's one thing I'm going to point out is these windows here are going to need to be, I think I can func detail them fine. I usually do every single map I'm in. So I'm going to do that real quick. Get these off the screen, but I'm going to need to close in these windows too. So get the rest of these doors first. Oh, Control M. I just find the smoother the ride players have, even during test, helps so much. Give them the right experience for what they need to do. Doing this now will also save me a little time later, potentially. And I think I'm going to shrink this down. Knowing this window size is going to be the same, I don't have to redo this every single time. So I'm just going to get the size of this just right. I want to copy it before I convert it. Oh, crap. And then throw that in the other windows. And 3 more. 4 more. Copy that again so I don't have to keep moving that, since all these are in the same place. And then what's great is I can just drag this over. So I'm going to drag these 4 into place first, and then convert each one. And personally, I don't know why Valve did this, but those windows, the frame, in my opinion, should have been not in func detail, because as it stands right now, this area is going to be exposed. Like, it's going to draw behind this, and we could have shrunk the size of the area portal down just to give like a little bit smaller area. Yeah, I know, it's like, it doesn't really matter that much, but it's just something I think about when I do that, which is the reason why I converted those door frames back over. But I've done this now, and I don't feel like going back and changing that, and I really don't think it's going to make all that big of a difference. The biggest thing you want to try to not draw for people is other people. So the most you can do there, I keep thinking about converting this. There's a couple of health and ammo. I keep thinking about putting those into full health and ammo for whatever. I don't know why. But I'll let test tell. Okay, so this area now, this building has been completely area portaled in, which means when players are looking at it, it's only going to draw it when it's looking at that one area portal. There's one thing I failed to do, which is I have a bunch of now area portals on the same exact plane, and I need to make sure what Valve, what the source will do, with the exception of this one here, since these are all in the same grid, it'll actually connect them all into a big box and draw that big box. So to get around that, I will need to make each one of these a different size, making sure that the doorway is fully closed up. So this is a full size, thin size, thin size. I can make this a thin size in the middle. Hopefully you guys see what I'm doing here. Same thing here. And then this last one, you're like, oh, we're going to do it well. We can make this a 2. I think that'll help. It's about the most we can do, but it'll help a lot. So just in case you're here, in the past, prior 5 minutes ago, 4 minutes ago, it would have drawn this plus the rest of that. Now, when I'm looking this way, it'll only draw this, this, and that, and then everything else in that realm. I need to now check to make sure these two are not the same. They're not. And is there any other instances like that? I don't see any. Okay, great. So what I'm going to do now is close this, or save it, and run it really quickly to see if any kind of leakage happens. And I like to do this step by step, building by building. You want to catch leakage problems in the moment, and I didn't see any leakage there, so all good. Great. So now what I'm happy about is I might want to put an area portal. Well, I can't do that. Is I know this area is going to be pretty well optimized at this point. I know that this area is going to be somewhat optimized, but I need to now start to cut down some of this. I'm going to be back in 1 second if you guys can bear with me. Just take a quick bathroom break, and I'll be back in 1 minute. All right, thanks. So, where else can I put area portals in? That's the question I'm asking, and I think I'm going to put some in here and on the final red spawn. Are probably the most intuitive places. So, back to what we did prior. I'm just going to remove anything that might not draw. I just only want drawable surfaces. What is the game going to draw this into? Turn it into a func detail. Sure. Okay. And I missed that earlier. So. Oh, I see what happened. Uh-huh. What's up with that? Strange source engine. Questioning if I leave that there. I think it'd be fine. It's a 45-degree angle. Just looking for anything else that probably should be turned, but I'm just going to wait on anything else that might make sense to turn into a func detail. And here we go. All this. All this is going to be displacements later, as ugly as it looks. Ooh. But I just don't want the engine to draw these weird angles right now, so it's a little bit of optimization that we're going to do there. I think you can actually see, what is it, the point file? Yeah, shows you all these, or the way it's drawing currently. So, for example, this right here is causing it to draw this stuff here. I don't really want that to happen, so I'm going to eliminate that. And that should hopefully help with that. Same thing here. So connect those two just so our func detail count isn't insane. There's another one that should probably be put with those. This is a great tool that I should use a lot more. I do. Usually in final stages I use it quite a bit, but see, that doesn't bother me so much, but you could func detail a lot of these ramps. Here's a weird one that I don't like, so the engine just doesn't know what to do. So we'll just help it out a little bit. When you see a lot of cuts like that, you have to start asking questions like, hey, what is going on? And I might come back to that one because there's a smarter way to do this roof to where you can create a brush that blocks what you're doing to help with your skips and hints. Just checking now. So this is actually a really good place to put an area portal here. Right. I've debated putting a window in here, but I think I'm just gonna, I feel like I have one of these in every single opening area that I have ever built. Like a requirement to have a little room there like that, but the idea behind this is if a player is in here and I am a player on this side of the building, that player and anything inside there will not draw until I'm looking at this area portal. And then there's even a chance that if the player's back here in this back corner and I'm looking at it from this direction, it still will not draw that player. Potentially it could, it probably will, because in theory there should be a box. So this right here is a no-no, so we want to func detail that. It's just creating these kind of extra unnecessary, although Source did a pretty good job of thinking through, like, how do I eliminate a line going up and forever, which would have caused a lot of extra cuts. But there we go, we just reduced 3 different cuts, or vis leaves I think they're called. Eventually, I haven't done this yet, I'm not going to do this in this version, but this is going to jut out a little bit with a building. All this is not going to look like this. It'll be either rocks or, I don't know, I'm trying to figure out what that'll be, but just looking for any other kind of weird cuts. I could clean that up later. And I probably should area portal this, but I don't have a roof in yet, which I could put an area portal across the top. I'm not worried. We're gonna come back and do that later anyway. So one thing I'm gonna point out that's a little weird here is, why is this area portal not showing up as an area portal when I turn them off? For example, oh, it did not, see? So I missed this one. Another good test to do. double checking some of this. Some weird cuts going on. I gotta come back and fix that. I'm okay with that for now. Here's one that's causing some problems. So yeah, I'm just doing some quick, light optimizations overall, making sure that just the high-level stuff I can reduce. Players seeing other players, seeing too many props, seeing stuff like that. So I'm going to turn off the portal file and move back to adding in some more func details in a few other places. So one, let's do here. And the theory here is if I can kind of hide this area portal, it won't draw unless people are seeing it versus putting it on the front side. My theory is that there's going to be less people in this building overall, so it's okay if it draws on the inside, but on the outside you're probably saving a few frames by taking that approach. Appreciate everyone viewing, dropping in today. If you guys have any questions or comments about anything, let me know. Going to keep streaming this map until it's completely done, hopefully. Assuming tests go well. But today, just getting ready to launch for tomorrow, hopefully. To start testing this with players. The mobster is currently installed as the VIP. I actually went back and forth on this. I might actually start off test with Julius. Thought about it a lot last night. Just to see how that does. I think I say that because I feel like Julius is a little more complete right now. Might show a little bit of a more complete player experience. But I think the mobster should be tested too. So, so as I said earlier, you can just double check area portals by seeing if they turn off after you create them. So just adding a few into some of these doorways now, this section. Probably one of the most complete, polished early on maps where I feel like I'm actually working on like an A8 versus something later in the stage. So just kind of excited to see if it actually runs with some of the theories that I built into it, and then the feedback and help from the team on the game mode. That was super helpful too. Tried to build in some things like shorter runs to the point It's one of the pieces of feedback. Alright, so if I did this correctly, let's double check. Nope. I feel like area portal brush is probably one of the most sensitive brushes I've come across in the game. I always advise starting over if you are running into issues with them. I don't know why this grass is coming through the ground. I kind of want to eliminate that. It's okay for now. Yeah, they're like the trickiest brush. So what I'm going to do now is I've now area portaled this building. I can't see any other way for air to escape outside of this chamber that I've created. That's kind of what I'm doing right now, is looking for just places to escape. The machine will tell me. So by the way, I could put an area portal here. The problem is the two sides would be touching unless I put in one here somehow. It's just kind of a weird area. So not going to do that. I've considered, by the way, putting like some visibility up into here so that people can not shoot, but just kind of tell, hey, there's people up there. It could just be open too. I hadn't thought about that. It could be interesting. So maybe just do that. Just see what that looks like. Yeah, appreciate everyone dropping in, especially if you've been watching this entire series. Bet that was interesting if you did. Yeah, something like that. I feel like it does need a top area. That. I'm debating if it should have like, let me go steal this thing. Not my favorite railing in the world at all. Just to save myself a little bit of time. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, something like that. Just a little. And maybe it makes more sense for them to drop down on the other side, actually. Not so sure about this little thing now. Why did I do this little brush here? It's a little weird. Yeah, since that's dropping down like that, or I don't know. Alright, good enough. This feels really weird now. Clean brushes. Okay. This is where I get lost in myself. Just, I need to fix this now, officially. Why is this so stupid? Ugh, that's why. Alright. I can't accept that. stuff off. Oh boy. Oh, I lose my mind a little bit when the brush work gets a little stupid like this. So, I don't know why. Why is this in here? Same thing. Yeah. So why was this designed? Why did I design this like this? That I get a little bit, I guess. Block that snipe line. But this is just horrendous. Alright, great. Got all that fixed. I think this needs to close this gap. Okay. Feeling better. This was a very claustrophobic room a few sessions ago, and I think it's feeling better. Create a couple of these lights that I already have made. Just gonna recreate them again. Save. We're going to double check that this is actually sealed properly. Don't want that jutting through. That'd be really annoying. It's like a character class trying to jump around there, but alright, let's see if I have any leakage. I'm just going to run the map for 1 second. And everything's fine, great. Okay, so I can move on. So it's just my double check to make sure I got the area portals right. And I forgot, did I do them here? I don't know. Don't think so. Oh, alright, gotta create a new funk detail brush. Same as before, since I'm going to make this 3 times, I'm going to copy this brush before I turn it. So they are very touchy brushes. Change this into an area portal. Add one here. I'm going to make sure those two are not on the same plane, which they look like they are not. Just gonna pull this one out here. It's weird those two openings are not the same. Huh. Makes me curious. Right, turn this one. And one more. Might be a door frame issue. Ugh. Awesome. And I think that's the end of what I would say is going to be my optimization pass for this A1. There's definitely more I could do, but I don't want to go too nuts on the area portals. There's not a lot of instinctive places to put them in either. I could like close this up into a building eventually, probably, and area portal that out would make a lot of sense. Same thing here. There's a possibility, you know, to like put one back here or whatnot, but let's just see how it develops first. And then same thing up here too. There's probably a miss on that, but that's okay for now. Double check for leakage in that new area that was just added. And it seemed fine to me. Right? Yeah. Okay, last things on the checklist. And this thing could actually get released. Is blue spawn needs to be finished. It is a mess right now. So I really don't like how all three of these are on the same plane either. Just these two, okay, yeah, sure. This one here, no. Which is why I'm thinking of turning it eventually. But for the use case of this test, I think I just need to get this going and probably just figure out the route for these three, and where the cane is probably going to get placed. I need to do that. And then the forward spawn has still been causing me problems because we talked on early in the session about it coming out from here. I'm now questioning that a little bit. Of course, it could be a lower spawn room. I hadn't thought about that. And exit out this way. With, I don't know. How to do that. The alternative has always been like the gorge approach up here, which I've been trying to avoid just so that it just is not another gorge. It does create for the player a bit of like, hey, there's this thing back here you need to go capture, which isn't so bad, but I don't know how that, just like, cool, you did the same thing that gorge did. The other options are coming out from this wall, which could be an option. It just feels a little weird. It's like what I had to do for extinction. And But I feel like that's got to get in there, otherwise this first test is going to fail immensely. If the players have to keep spawning, because it's quite a jog to the end. Over and over again, just doing that over and over again. So, right, been at this for about an hour today. Just gonna do a quick, show you guys the last. You know, as shown, this was closed up last time. There's now an opening to get through there. I don't know if that's going to complicate things too much or not. Added in a few visual cues for players as they're coming out of areas. The red spawn is now complete with spawn doors, med cabinets, exits, etc. I do need to check this really quick, which is how are these doing against the doors? So this one's too far out. That one's not far out enough. Which could make it where you build stuff in the spawn. So I'm gonna cut this down. Make it real easy. Okay, select solids. Right there at the edge of the door. A teleporter can be placed on the other side of that. And over here, it needs to be pulled out. I think it's a little too far, probably. Right at the visualizer. Great. Works great. And double check this. Perfect. Okay. Alright, I have not clipped back here yet, I just realized, because I was waiting to get all this done. Just do a quick clip of this stuff up here. Some overlapping brushes. I used to use the red and blue dev textures, I don't know why. And I've just kind of grown to really dislike them. Like the white is a very clean, especially the different variations of it that you can use. So big fan of that now. Awesome, clipping's done. I think it's done. I don't know how these trees are going to do. I haven't tested this yet, but there's a couple of them in the game. Let me know if you've experienced that. Here's a few more here where they cause weird, who knows what type of thing to go on. But yeah, just got to get this spawn room into shape. Just going to take a minute. I think I'm going to take a little breakfast break. But Looking at my list, yeah, I got the optimizations in. I need to double check lighting probably one last time. I don't know what that is. Water on second deck. Just remove that. Roof is missing. Got that. B displacement, got it. Signs. Double check signs. Double check clipping. Blue spawn. Forward spawn. I'm done. I feel like I could just create this type of thing over and over again. I kind of start to lose interest after this point when the detailing starts to kick in. But yeah, these early stages, like getting the testing done, like a good layout, really solid layout, kind of like the Art Pass project. I could just do that over and over again. Just hand it off to someone else because I'm okay at the final push Art Pass, but my strength is definitely, I think, what everyone's hopefully seeing here. Just kind of coming up with a quick layout on something, an idea around it. But all right, thanks for joining in. I really appreciate everyone that's been following so far. Hopefully, again, you found some kind of usage coming out of this. I'm gonna go get some breakfast, and hopefully get this thing released by tomorrow. I need to name it, so if you've got a name idea, let me know. Drop it on the comments. Otherwise, it's gonna be probably lost. Keep on to call it Lost Relic, so maybe that's what it should be called. But Lost Ruins, kind of like Lost Relic, better. So means there's gonna need to be some kind of like relic in there. Is the only problem. Maybe built into the back of this thing. Could definitely be a backdrop for something cool. So we did that for Sandswept, and then Crash ended up turning that final area into a custom thing for us. But again, appreciate everyone joining. Catch you next time.